Okay, so I've decided to take an evening walk. I understand that there is another way to get down to the lake from the campground. So I will meet you guys when we get down to Lake Ontario. So back down this road, there are yurts that you can rent to stay in. Round tents, yurts. Big playground for the kids over there. It's a beautiful park. This is 4 Mile Creek State Park in New York, about 16 miles from Niagara Falls. And it's a beautiful state park. It's quiet, very family friendly. Lots to offer for the kids and the grown-ups. Boy, I bet the grandkids would just love that playground. Lots of slides, climbing apparatus, swings. There are RVs, campers, tents, all kinds of camping taking place in this state park. And you can see over there, there's a pavilion and the water. We're going to walk over there. We're going to go down here to the shower house. I used the shower house this morning. It was very clean, very nice shower house. Go over here to the shoreline. Okay, so yes, the view of the shoreline is much easier down here on this side of the park than on the opposite end where we were at last night. You do still have an embankment and you can't go down to the actual shoreline, but you can see it better. It's still a steep embankment and there's no way to get down to it. But the view is much better. So this is 4 Mile Creek State Park on the shores of Lake Ontario. Okay, so then Jody told me that there was a service road that goes down. And she said along the service road were these plaques that told about some of the history. Okay, so this one talks about the woodland environment and some of the things we might see here. Talks about the canopy, the understory, the shrub layer, the herb layer, and the forest floor. We might see chipmunks, squirrels, northern flickers, screech owls, wood duck, spring peeper, which is a frog. And then there's some of the ferns, and you see red oak leaf and sugar maple, Wild turkeys. There's some of the marshland back in there. Because this one down here talks about the wetlands. You might see some American frogs, painted turtles, beaver, wood ducks. I don't know if you can see back in there. There's a marshland back in there. Okay, and then this one tells the history, the importance of 4 Mile Creek in the French and Indian War. Okay, the importance of 4 Mile Creek in the French and Indian War. The French and Indian War was fought as part of a larger global conflict between England and France. In North America, the two nations contested which would control the lucrative fur trade and the settlement of the interior. Fort Niagara, a French outpost where the Niagara River enters Lake Ontario, set astride the major northern water route to the American interior. In 1759, British General John Prideaux set out to capture the fort. Nearly 2,400 British regulators and provincial troops embarked from Oswego on the eastern side of Lake Ontario in small boats, rowing under the cover of darkness to avoid detection by French ships. The army took shelter in bays and inlets by day. The British force arrived at Fort Mile Creek in early July of 1759, where they were joined by over 650 native warriors. The creek, a heavily wooded marsh, is located 4 miles east of the Niagara River and is just out of reach of the fort's guns. It became a staging area for Prideaux's offensive against the fort. Here, the British unloaded cannons and supplies from the boats for laying siege to the fort. The 600-man French garrison, commanded by Captain Picot, refused to surrender to Prideaux, believing that a relief column would soon come to their aid. In textbook European fashion, the British laid siege to Fort Niagara by constructing a series of trenches even closer to the fort's walls than the last. On July 20th, 1759, General Prideaux was killed by one of his own mortars, and Sir William Johnson assumed command of the British forces. After a 19-day siege, British ammunition was running low, their artillery was breaking down, and chances for the siege's success came into doubt. On July 24th, however, Johnson's British soldiers and a small band of Iroquois warriors routed a French relief force of nearly 1,500 men who were attempting to raise the siege against Fort Niagara. The next day, with no hope of reinforcements, the French asked for terms of surrender, and Fort Niagara came under British control. So see, the state park has some history to it. I wish they would thin out. Oh, here's a trail. So yeah, so they have these borders here to stop vehicles from coming down. But there's the shoreline, and they do have a trail that goes down here closer to the shoreline. I don't think I'm going to go all the way down there, though. It looks like a little rough trail, but you can get closer. so pretty through there. That is Lake Ontario back there, guys. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, I have been on the shore of Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and now I'm on the shore of Lake Ontario. This is an awesome trip. I am really enjoying my trip along the Great Lakes. And we're still only a week into our trip because we're going all the way to Maine. But right now, today, we're in New York. All right, let's go on back to camp. That was a lot of fun. Goodness, I just met Maggie. She is a beautiful Great Dane. She is so large. Oh, she's beautiful.
She's tall.
She is very tall. Where are you all from?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona?
Yeah.
Wow, you're a long ways from home.
Yeah.
Maggie, you're a long ways from home.
Before long.
Do you come up to see Niagara Falls, I guess?
Yeah.
We're from Missouri.
Oh, okay.
But we have cousins that live in Arizona, so I know all of Arizona.
We both grew up near Kansas City.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, Blue Springs and Raytown area.
We're from, well, we all grew up near Jefferson City. We went to
Okay.
high school in Jefferson City.
Yeah.
But I'm from the Hannibal area.
Okay.
My sister, who I'm traveling with, she's a doctor, Dr. Strauss. She was a professor at Northwest in Maryville, which is near Kansas City.
That's where my cousin went to college.
Yeah, and then my other, my brother, he's in Lebanon, Missouri.
Okay.
So we all three make a triangle in the state.
Got the whole state covered.
Got the whole state covered. Well, thank you for letting me meet Maggie.
Of course.
Beautiful.
You want to go see the lake? Let's go see the lake.
Oh, she says yes, water. Thank you.
evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, so we came to see the fall colors, and I think this tree is pretty representative of what we want to see. Look at all the colors of that tree. Just beautiful. Let me go over here. There. So yes, so I think this tree is very representative of what we're wanting to see. That one back there in the background is just glowing. The Northeast in the fall.